Welcome, everyone, to the Primeval Cast, episode 12. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Louie. What's up, Louie?
Hey, hey, hey.
All right, so happy anniversary, Primeval. 10 years.
Jeez, I feel so old.
What the heck, man?
I feel ancient. I remember sitting down 10 years ago, looking at this new program. I was like, oh, this can be cool, and then just being blown away.
And I know you've been trying to get me into it for years.
Oh,
And then finally, I got into it.
Yeah, I'm so glad you. I think you're glad that I got you into it. I think you enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoyed the show. I started buying the DVDs. I got another one. I got this one I have to watch.
Lovely.
Still, I guess this is season 3, I believe. And I got season 1 and 2 on the volume 1, which I didn't know about that at first because I thought volume 2 was season 2, but no, they packaged season 1 and 2 into volume 1. So I had to buy that. Yeah. So I'm going to be buying the rest of it for my collection. But most of the time I wind up watching it on Daily Motion too, on the fly, because I don't have time to put it in, pop in the DVD or whatever, but, or I watch it online somehow. But I got to say that rewatching episode 6 of season 2 was one of my favorite episodes because
it's brilliant, isn't it? It's great.
There's this. Well, let's describe what happens. Finally, the public gets a view of what's going on with a woolly mammoth rampaging down the friggin' highway, I guess, right?
And the M25, because you're American, you don't understand. It's
right.
Basically one of the biggest motorways. Like, it's used all the time for people to get to London, which is the capital of England. So, and it's a very busy place. So it's used all the time. It's chock-a-block. There's always traffic jams and gridlocking. So, like, for a Colombian mammoth to go onto the M25, it would cause mayhem. So I think it's one of the best creatures the show's ever had. And I also think it's one of the best settings. Like, this is the thing with series 2. Like, with series 1, the settings were cool. Like, you'd have the swimming pool and you'd have the underground. But the creatures really fit the locations this year. Like, you have the saber-tooth in the amusement park. You have the raptors in the shopping mall. You have a mammoth on the M25. It really fits. And I think that really helps incorporate, like, the real world. It makes it feel like it's the real world and anything could come through. And
we see that it starts off with the woman and her child. We see that this woolly mammoth's running around, smashes the car. She's trapped in there. The kid's crying. This guy, Jeff, tries to help her, and then he gets killed immediately by the woolly mammoth. And then we see Cutter and everybody having a little secret meeting about trying to figure out who because somebody is a traitor in the group. So they're called off to the scene, but Steven doesn't join them because Helen, again, sticks her face into the situation and manipulates Steven. Like, she really is trying overtime to get him to go against Cutter. And that's not really...
Sorry, just butting in. It's like all the main plot points of not only last season, but this season with the traitor. It's all coming to blows. Like, this is like the beginning of the end of this team.
I mean, this is a situation that the whole team is needed. And the fact that Cutter has to deal with it with minus Steven, which is a big... I mean, that's like his right-hand man. Like, skilled military.
He's the guy who goes out tracking. He does the practical stuff. Cutter's more of the reserved. The professor, he
has the weapons. He has the skills.
He doesn't know how to choose a gun.
I'm talking about Steven. Yeah.
Yeah, no, so that's what I'm saying. Like, Cutter doesn't know what to do. Like,
I mean, he knows how to use it better than Connor, obviously. But
yeah, but he knows about the creatures. He doesn't. He knows all about.
He doesn't know the weapons to use. The expert. Yeah.
He's not a military guy.
So he does his best with Abby and Connor to try to. First, they try to get the kid, and then Connor gets trapped with the woman, Abby takes the speed car. You
Some
know,
great visuals as well, like with the
it is really nice the way everything is done.
and the music and the tension. Like, it's probably some of the best scenes in my opinion.
I mean, I was worried. I'm like, oh God, you know, these people are gonna die. I mean, this thing. Finally, they you know, they're able to save everybody and contain. Like they actually used elephant urine. I guess Abby told them
It's a
they
very
used
clever idea.
yeah to lure them into a trailer, into that trailer truck, whatever. And they captured a woolly mammoth, which is amazing. Now,
Because unfortunately the anomaly closed, so it's stuck, like
yeah,
Rex. So they're gonna have
yeah,
to look after that. But I think Abby's flat's a bit too small.
yeah. So the
So
thing is that they wound up seeing Steven with Helen, and right away, you know, Cutter doesn't even give it a chance. He's like, "You're fired,"
and it's a really good
because
visuals because you've got Cutter and then you got Steven, and then standing either side, and then all of a sudden you see Helen, and she's just eating it with a knife, like she doesn't give a shit. Like she's
right,
just
and Connor could have died, Abby could have died, people could have died. He doesn't have time for this shit with her, so he just flat out, either you fucking get away from her or you're done. I'm not even waiting. You're fired, and then we could talk about this later. And he's like, oh, you know, basically that's the way it is. We have a situation with they try to set up a fake anomaly place, so that way they can find out who the traitor is in a church, I believe.
yeah, and this is a really nice scene. Like it's very eerie set in a church, just because of the religion spiritually,
Mhm.
and again, it would be a great episode, like setting for an episode in the future. Actually, one in a church. And you get the scene that Abby and Connor are kind of flirting, like they're singing "All Things Bright and Beautiful." They tell Cutter about Rex and Caroline, which is another plot thread. It kind of
Yes.
intertwines, and he's just like, "Oh, you need to get it back." And then,
And Lester, no, sorry, not Lester. Oliver Leake pays off Carolyn, got Rex, you know, but then she wants to see what's going on, which is not a good idea for her. But Oliver does that, and then lo and behold, who walks into the church? Jenny Lewis.
and it's like oh, she's not part of it, is she? Like,
And then Cutter just flips.
because that's like the only person he can really trust alongside.
And the
Abby.
thing is, he don't really trust her because he loves Claudia Brown, and she's not Claudia Brown. So immediately, it's like he's not. She's in his head. It's like she's not Claudia Brown. She's the traitor. He whips the gun in her face. I mean, it was like, wow.
She like, I don't know, because you obviously watched it for the first time. Like, how did you think anything?
Well, second time I saw this already.
No, I mean the first time you saw it, like not knowing.
I was in shock because I was like, oh, she's not Claudia Brown. You know, it's like maybe she is a traitor, and then it's like, no, she's not the traitor. She just was sent there by Oliver Leake.
Quite pissed off at him at that point. So you nearly, like, I could have died.
Yeah.
He's like, I made a trap. You fell in the trap. Like the trap worked. Like it's all good. And she's just like, I think at this point she's kind of fallen for him a little bit. Like whereas before,
yeah, and she knows he's not going to kill her. Like she's like, it's not.
I think,
you know,
when she first joined, she was a bit like.
She was probably shocked at first.
Yeah, she was.
And then she's like,
but at this point, she's kind of like, she sees him in a different light, I think.
Yeah, she knows she could reason with him. Say, look, it's not me. I you know,
like they've got a good friendship.
What my favorite thing about this episode is none of that. My favorite thing is that Lester gets his moment where you always picture him as a weakling or whatever, and Oliver Leake really tries to kill Lester, and he's all alone. And it's funny because he's not so like a pushover as you think he is.
He's not just a civil servant.
He's not. And the funny thing is, like, he's this futuristic predator is chasing after him, and he's running through the rooms, like trying to get weapons, playing the music, whatever. The best scene I think I've seen by far, and the whole entire Primeval that I've ever seen, was the fact that when the freaking futuristic predator is about to kill him, he presses the button, and the woolly mammoth kills the futuristic predator in seconds right before he dies.
And you actually think, like, I don't know about you, but I thought he was a goner. I was like, shit. They're gonna
So
kill
did
that.
I. And then I'm like, this was the greatest scene ever.
And I think it really works because at this point, he's so rude to them. He's nasty to
Yeah.
them. And you're like, do you know
But he
what?
really does
If he
care, though.
dies,
He's just...
yeah, it's like if he dies, I don't care. But then when it gets to this, it's kind of like, oh shit, I don't want him to die. He is a good person.
But then you know that he really does care, but he just has to be that way to make them tough.
Yeah, and he's quite cold-hearted. It's a bit...
And then he's chilling. He's chilling with Cutter afterwards. And he's like...
Yeah. You're going to hurt my feelings if you keep calling me traitor. And it's like, he's still joking. Like, that hasn't phased him. But he's now personally his league. He's like...
Yeah, oh, yeah. Because
he was
getting close with them.
Yeah, he's like, this is personal now. But it's like, when you first saw the future Predator in the van, were you like, was that a shock to you?
I was shocked because I was like, all right, are they going to tie this in with season 1? Is it going to be another thing with the timeline getting altered? What's happening?
Ooh.
I was like, what's going on? And then I was like, so the whole thing, he's like, I want to keep the woolly mammoth for the kids. I was like cracking up. I'm like, oh my God, that'd be hysterical, right? Because this thing is his best friend now, like the woolly mammoth. That would be like funny, you know? Like a pet.
I love how even when he's about to die and Leek's like, beg for your life or something like that, he's like, no. He's like, you really are a tiresome little man. And he's just like, if I die now, like, I'm still not going to give in to you. And it's like, wow, this is like tougher than we ever thought.
But the greatest thing was he really took it to heart that the group was turning on him. That he's like, I'm going to take care of this personally. He didn't have any armor on. He didn't have any bulletproof vest. He went with the military with weapons in his suit and tie, like lock and load. Like, I'm going to get this mother. And it was like, oh, shit. And meanwhile, you see Cotter and all them going somewhere else, and you think that, you know, Lester's on to Leek, but it's Cotter that bumps into Leek with the whole soldiers.
Just back up a tiny little bit. We've got that one scene where Cotter punches Steven.
Oh, yes. Yes. Steven says something snotty to Cotter about, like, that's why she went with me.
And he's just like...
And you've seen his face. Like the husband, you know, you did this to my wife. Pop.
And he's like,
disrespect.
He's like, I deserve that.
Yeah, he did. He did. But the thing is that we're going to talk about this next episode, but there's something about this two-parter, I guess, that I think was meant for other things with a certain character. But we're going to get into that the next episode. But why don't you finish off like what happens in the episode?
I was going to say...
Or the highlights.
Well, one other highlight is there's a scene where Steve and Helen like proper kiss, and it's at a flat. She's manipulating him, and it's just like...
Well, I guess they have sex or something.
Yeah, it's like...
And you don't see that. But see, this is the thing. It's like they have sex or whatever, and then you get the impression that could it have possibly been that she abducted Steven and replaced him or something?
At this point,
we'll get into that.
Well, yeah, we won't. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like she's completely wormed her way into his head. Like
he's all love. Oh yeah,
everyone else.
Whatever.
Like, Lester's the enemy. Cutter's the enemy.
Yeah.
And, like she goes, my poor Steven. It's like,
I know, and he's just like, yeah, man.
And it's like,
I was like, oh, come on, Steven.
Like they're having sex, and it's just like at that point for me, it's like, right, he's gone to the dark, so like you can't.
Yeah,
like,
you're a douche, man.
I was like, for me, Steven, he has to do something pretty big to redeem himself.
Yeah.
And then we have the scene with the bomb as well. Like, it all kicks off in this episode. Like, they think they're trying to hack into Leek's file. This is when they find out it's Leek. And there's a funny scene, like, Connor's like joking around about how much Lester gets paid and Abby's middle name. And
oh yeah, he went to her files and she's like, "Don't look at my files anymore." He's like,
she's like, Connor, what's my middle name? He's like, Sarah. She's like, but you told me that, and she's like, nope. And he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
But there's a great scene with the bomb, and Connor's like, everyone get out. And then Connor's running. He's like, not you, Connor. And Connor's like, fuck.
Yeah, like I don't know what the F I'm doing. So then Connor had to like basically break the battery connection because that was fueling the bomb to blow up. And it was like he didn't know what the hell he was. Connor honestly didn't know what the hell to do. He right away you think he would know, and he's like,
He's
No,
like,
I gotta do it.
he's like, cut the red wire, and he's
They're
like,
all red. They're all red. It's like,
and he's just
oh,
counting
God.
down like 1, 2, don't leave me, and then it's all good, and you're like, it's really
Yeah.
tense. Like you know they're not gonna die, but at the same
Right.
time, it's like, oof,
It's
scary.
crazy.
But then he says like, if the Ark blows up, we lose everything, and it kind of, it's like, makes him think.
But in the end, they get
they
caught.
track Caroline's phone to this warehouse, and they think it's a bit odd, and then this like intertwined scene, so you think it's going to be Lester that meets Leek, but he's pranked Lester, and Lester's really pissed. Like he was pissed before. This is like, you really don't want to mess with me when I get my hands on you now. But it's Cutter that walks through the door. He gets knocked out, and it's this really, really well shot scene with the lighting and the atmosphere. Cutter like lifts his head up, and it's all you can't really see what's going on, and you see Helen there.
Yeah.
And it's like personally for me, I think Helen shouldn't have been connected with Leek up until this moment. I think it'd been a bigger reveal. Like, what the hell's Helen doing? Do you get what I mean?
Instead in the car, you mean just would have been surprised.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. But I do like how it's done. Like, you still don't really know why she's doing it. But I think that would have just made it a little bit more like, oh, what the fuck? But then there's a big jaw-dropping moment where it's revealed that there's all these creatures from previous episodes. And like, I remember watching it and just being like, what? Like, my head
what
was
the hell
just
is
like,
this? Yeah. And then it ends.
Like,
to be continued.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting that because obviously last series there's only 6 episodes, right?
Yeah,
and
there was an extra episode. This
yeah.
season.
So I thought, oh, this is like, this is the last episode, and it's like to be continued. I'm like, what? And then you get your next one trailer. I'm like, ooh,
which was a good thing to do because when series do well, they up the episode count. With like Walking Dead, they did that.
They have 10 episodes instead of 6 or 7.
Right.
But tell me, what were your thoughts on the on that reveal?
I didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, what the hell are they going to do? What the hell was the purpose of capturing all these creatures?
Was it,
and again, at the end of the day, I'm like, well, she is traveling in the past, but could it be possible that she's also traveling to the far future? Is there like aliens involved? Is there like a futuristic society that? Because, there's also the factor that they changed the timeline. And, how does that play into everything? And is she trying to change the timeline again? Or is it is she taking animals from one time period to another time period? It's like, what the hell is happening? Is she working for bad guys or good guys?
It's a real...
So I really don't know what the hell was going on. Yeah.
How did you feel? Like, what's your reaction to this episode in general?
I was just annoyed. I was kind of disappointed in Steven. Because I would have figured that the friendship would have been more powerful than a girl. Like a woman. I mean, it's always like you see these movies and these shows and the girl gets between like the best friends and it's like you could destroy a friendship. It's like, oh, come on, man. Use your right head. It's like... She's like playing you, but
Steven aside, like, would you think this was a good episode?
I thought this was one of the best episodes because again, the whole woolly mammoth, the Lester, it was just a top episode for me. Top,
I definitely rate this. Like,
I'm still hoping for Claudia Brown to pop out of an anomaly, but we'll see.
You never know. 3
know.
more seasons to go.
Yeah. So again. It is a great thing that I may have started late with this show, but at least I got to see it and watching it, and it would be nice if they can continue it. I mean, in some capacity, and here's hoping that. I mean, we heard that they're possibly doing a movie or reboot or something, and for America, which is Primeval, but I would like to see it where it belongs. And again, I don't know what the cast members are of Primeval in season 3, 4, 5, but I would like to hope that my favorite crew from 1 and 2, the originals, are still there, but we'll see. Anyway, Louie, thank you very much.
Happy 10th anniversary.
Happy 10th anniversary, Primeval. And we will try to be back in a little while for the final part of the season 2 Primeval, which is episode 7. Yeah, the finale. All right. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.